Hello and welcome to the Complete Hire Equipment WRFL Round 11 preview. Andrew Wilson, as always, along with PEPPE CAVALIERI. Welcome.
Thank you, Willow.
Let's start with Rams Division 1 Albion. Very disappointing last week. Take on Werribee Districts.
Yeah, they were very disappointing, Willow. Just expected a fair bit more from them. Caroline Springs were excellent, though. Got off to a really good start, set the tone. They were never coming back, the Cats. Draw last week for the Tigers against Sunshine. They never trailed all day, but only shared the points. Must win for them. The season's very, very open in the top 4 or 5, even 6 positions. Can't afford to drop this one, and they should be able to. But I expect it to be a pretty good game. The Cats tend to do okay against the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm picking the Tiger as well. Deer Park and Hoppers Crossing. This will be a fantastic game, with Deer Park now consolidating their position as the top team in Division 1 yet again.
Yeah, they've been excellent. Great win against Altona last week, who have just fallen away a touch lately. I think 3 of their last 4 games they've lost, Willow. So the Lions going along nicely. Another challenge for them. Won't be easy against Hoppers Crossing, though. They're one of those teams trying to make sure that they cement a spot in the 5, but I think the Lions will be too good.
Yeah, agree with you there. Spotswood have won their past 5, take on Altona, as you mentioned before, have lost 3 of their past 4. Interesting game, this one.
It is. Spotty would have been coming off a bit of an easier match against WYNDHAMVALE, so they'll want to start well. Potentially Altona could jump them a little bit, but who knows? On their home deck, Spotty, I think they've just been flying under the radar, Willow, which is interesting to say about a club that's sitting second, just percentage behind Deer Park. So I don't think they'll be flying under the radar for much longer. The Woodsmen should win.
All right, I'm going to tip Altona in that one. St Albans take on Caroline Springs, who were absolutely brilliant last week with their win over Albion. Josh Mellington was fantastic up forward. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, really interesting one. St Albans have been poor this year by their own admission as well. They were okay last week against Hoppers Crossing, couldn't get the 4 points. They'll be looking to build on that this week. I think the challenge for Caroline Springs is whether they can produce another outstanding effort like they did last week. If they can do it 2 weeks in a row, I think that's a really good sign for them. They've pretty much secured their future in Division 1. They're now a couple of games clear and a hefty percentage ahead of WYNDHAMVALE, so you wouldn't expect them to finish on the bottom. I'm going to go with the Lakers. I think they'll take a bit of confidence from last week.
Agree there. I'm going to go with the Lakers as well. Sunshine, who got the draw last week, still keeps them better than the loss because it keeps them in touch with the top 5. They should be too good for WYNDHAMVALE.
Yeah, I would think so. They got the 2 points last week, which, as we looked at the ladder, might come in handy later on. I know they fell another half a game behind Hoppers Crossing, but you never know if they can clinch a couple. That might be the difference between missing out or getting in instead of that dreaded percentage being the decisive factor at the end of the season. Too big a game for them to slip up. Sunshine, they'll win comfortably.
Yeah, agree there. That was Rams Division 1. Now on to Division 2. Newport Power take on Albanvale, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, Newport Power should win. Albanvale have been struggling a little bit. Newport Power, 5th at the moment, need to win to just keep in touch. Like, they've just fallen out of the top 4 from last week, but it's very even. So the Power, important game, they should win at home.
Yeah, agree with that one. Poycook Central take on Yarraville Seddon Eagles. This is our match of the day on 88.9 Win FM. We didn't get a result the first time these two sides met. This time, hopefully we do, and very much looking forward to it. This is going to be a beauty. Yeah,
it should be a great game, Willow. I think the Eagles they've been playing some good footy lately. Point Cook have as well. We haven't seen them. Looking forward to it. Because of that reason, I'm just going with what I know. And what I know is that Yarraville Seddon is a good team, and I think they might just squeeze home.
All right, I'm going to go with the home team there and Point Cook. Parkside take on Manor Lakes. This will be an interesting contest.
It's a really big contest. A few changes at Manor Lakes, obviously a coaching change. That seemed to work for them last week. They beat Newport Power at home and they moved into the 4. So it's another important game against another club that is trying to get into that 4. Parkside sitting in 6th, but still very much a chance of playing finals football if they can win this week, although I just think Manor Lakes might be trending in the right direction.
Yeah. And the final game of Division 2 is the Footscray Battle, West hosting North. Some familiar names return to the best players in the goal kickers for North Footscray. Is this the return of North Footscray as a powerhouse, a real challenger for the top spot with Point Cook and Yarraville Seddon.
Well, they made a bit of a slow start last week, but they clicked into gear. Again, they're working on a few things, just trying to be a bit more disciplined, Willow. It seemed to be working for them. The true test will be whether they can do that against Point Cook and Yarraville Seddon later on in the season when they meet again, no doubt, in the finals as well. West Footscray on their home deck, you never know what they're going to turn up. They're a much better side on their home deck. And I think they got out to an early lead last time these two sides met. So North Footscray should win, but interested to see what happens in the early stages.
Yeah, I'll stick with North Footscray in that one. Division 3, Braybrook now, looking like the side that's going to finish fourth. Take on Tarneet, who thumped Point Cook Centrals last week by 120 points and have moved up into second. This is a big game for Tarneet to consolidate their spot in the top two.
It is. They were excellent. 120-point win last week. They held Point Cook Central's goalless, just the 6 behind. So certainly the margin was unexpected from, I think, most outsiders looking in, but probably not to the Titans. They know they're building well and they're in some excellent form. They're in great touch at the moment. They should beat Braybrook, but this is a really big game for the Brookers because they're 3 games clear in fourth, and we probably know that they're the 4th best team in the competition. Can they take a scalp? Can they go that next level, Willow? That's probably the challenge for them this week, and I think they'll be setting themselves for a big game, but I think the Titans.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Titans as well. Glen Ordon got their first win since coming back to the competition, so congratulations to all the people down there at Glen Ordon. They take on Laverton.
Yeah, Laverton certainly weren't disgraced last week by Braybrook. Only went down by a couple of goals, 20-something points, I think it might have been in the end. So a big game for the Magpies. Final still not, there's still a chance of making the 4. They need some results to go their way. I mean, they're 3 games behind Braybrook. But if they can win Saturday, then you never know. But I think the Magpies might squeeze home.
Yeah, I'm taking Laverton as well. Point Cook Centrals really need to bounce back after that effort last week against Sunny Heights.
They do. I wonder how much of their confidence has taken a hit from the past few weeks. Not so much the Wyndham Suns game a fortnight ago, but that was really unexpected at the weekend to lose by such a heavy margin. They have to win to keep their top 2 hopes alive because Tarneet are likely to win their game. Yeah. You've got to expect that they will. So Point Cook Centrals are going to need to get the job done against Sunshine Heights, and they should do.
Yep, agree there. And the final game is Wyndham Suns versus North Sunshine. You expect the undefeated Suns to continue on their winning ways in this one?
Yeah, they've been very good. Wyndham Suns are setting the tone, 10-0. You'd expect they'd drop one eventually. Generally, teams do at some point.
Just hope it's not a grand final.
No, and I don't think it'll be this week either, Willow. North Sunshine struggling, so Wyndham Suns for me.
Yeah, Suns for me as well. This has been the complete Hire Equipment Round 11 WRFL preview. Good luck to your team this weekend.